Hey guys, this is Ty Savino. Thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new, definitely smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can stay in tune with this whole TA series and anything to do with online arbitrage FBA. Today's video, we're going to go over our viewed data after running our product search, and we're going to put filters so we can narrow down even more results in that data and make better sourcing decisions. And the second part of this video is going over the 3 top tips that I have for Keepa graphs that you don't want to overlook or miss. Stay tuned. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna make this as fast as possible because this part is pretty straightforward. So now that we have our data here for our products that we found, we're gonna go over the filters. So even though we set our filters and settings, we set more filters when we did our product research, we're gonna set even more filters now. So let's just go over it real quick. The first button is how to reset all your filters. So if you make a mistake or if you press the eyeball, it makes the filter go away. You don't need to panic, just reset the filters with this button. Our first thing will be the source. What stores do we want to look at? I have 9 of them in here because I have 9 different stores that I sourced from. But you can go in here and pick the ones that you want, apply. It's very simple. The next major thing is how much do you want to source your products for? So this would be $1 to 50, so you only want to spend up to $50 on a product sourcing it from your online retailer. That's all that is. On to the next one is going to be your gross profit and gross ROI. I don't put the gross ROI on my filters because I already have it set, but I always go in gross profit, and I like to change this around depending on the store and the discounts depending on the store that I ran in the search. So I might lower it from, it's at $6, it could go all the way down to $2.50 profit. Apply. And it'll bring up even more results. See, the lowest I could find is $4.45, so that's how you would set that up. And just to go over to the back filters, these are very important. So buy box and estimated sales. I don't like going under 50. You can go lower if you want. Maybe if you're sourcing a bunch of books or something like that, that's up to you. But the buy box, when you click in here, this is the main thing I want to show you, is there's FBA, Merchant Fulfilled, and Amazon. So this is who's controlling the buy box. This does not mean that Amazon isn't selling on there or there aren't Merchant Fulfilled listings. Okay, they're still there. We just want to make sure at the current time FBA is controlling it, and it'll give us items right now that we know we can source. I mean, we're obviously going to want to check out the Keepa graph, which I'm going to go into the 4 tips on here to make sure that, you know, if we have the right estimated sales, FBA has the buy box, we have the gross profit that we like. I'm only going through this real quick because it's very generic information. That's how you want to set it up. After that, once you have all your filters set up, the only other little section we're going to want to look at is, now that there's products here, let's say we want to check out this Hamlin Beach. The blue arrows, when you click them, will show you the source. So there's 2 tabs that will pop up. One will be Amazon, what it sells for. It's a 3-pack and a 6-pack. Okay, and then down here is 13 new, so it tells you how many sellers are in there without even looking at the Keepa graph. Then you would go over to Hamilton Beach, and here's the product right here selling for $7.88. So this is where you would get it from. If you look up in my right corner, Ebates pops up. This is why I told you guys to get Ebates. You can activate your cash back 5%. So you spend $50 here, you make about $2.50 back, which is clutch. All right, so that's what that button does. Now the A is, as you can see when you highlight over it, it says Amazon Seller Central. So this is the button that's going to list this product for you, and you're going to want to definitely click this button. I'm not going to show you because it's going to go directly into my account, but it's going to go right to the ASIN, and it's going to ask you if you want to sell yours, and you would click on sell yours. You're going to list it for the price. You're going to write your SKU number, which is up to you. So I would write 101 Hamilton Beach cereal, and that's the information you would type in, the price that you want to sell it in and the condition, and then you would list it. Now when you say sell yours, it might say you need to be ungated in this brand or this category, which most of them are 24-hour approvals, and in that 24-hour approval, most of them are instant, like in 2-3 seconds after you click the button, you'll go through, or they'll ask you why. Now if you go to click in it and it says subcategories, this is where you definitely want to always press this Amazon button to make sure you could sell it, because you might be able to sell in this category, but this product might be under a subcategory that you are not ungated in, and it's a little bit more challenging. So you would have to click sell yours. If that pops up, You would click limitations when you go into there. If you see something that's asking you something that from the retailer, a distributor, or a wholesaler, you probably don't have an invoice from that because you bought from a retailer, and you're not going to be able to get ungated into that. So that's why you always press A. We want to make sure that we're selling things that we're actually allowed to sell on Amazon without getting in any trouble or violating anything that we can't. We don't want to send inventory there that you can't sell, you know what I mean? Or you don't want to buy inventory coming to your house and then you can't even list it. So make sure you always press that button. You look at your sources, you check your prices. Do you want to source it for that much, and how much can you sell it on Amazon? The Keepa graphs will go over the sellers that I showed you. It says from new, it said 13 sellers. That will all be on the Keepa graph. And that's like the generic basis of when you get your items, your filters, and it will narrow it down. Like when I did the search, there was 50 products and it narrowed it down to I think 15 from these settings that I already have in here. And now the major part of this video that we're going to go into is the 3 tips on a Keepa graph. So let's get into that. All right, guys, let's go over the 3 tips for a Keepa graph. So my number one is, and it's been questions have been asked on my videos, is should we compete, or what if Amazon is on the listing or on the Keepa graph? That is perfectly fine. We're going to go over that. So on the Keepa graph, you'll see an orange line, right? So that represents Amazon. And then there's a block that falls down, as you can see on my left right here on this graph. That means that's their price, and they're controlling the buy box. And that is, if it's all orange, they don't share sales, they control the buy box, and it's a no-go. So that is an example of Amazon we want to get rid of. So get rid of that. Our second one is, you see how there's blocks of Amazon, that the orange line, and then they come down, and then there's big white blocks with a blue line? That means it's regular Prime sellers, and Amazon has ran out of inventory. So if you look at this graph, you could see that how many units you could probably buy and where you can fit in. You wouldn't want to go on a graph though that is similar like this, but Amazon runs out of inventory 2 or 3 days. I advise you not to buy anything on that listing. But if you look at something and you have 2 to 3 weeks to sell, and then Amazon comes back, that's fine. That's a viable listing. Now, if you took Amazon off, you wouldn't have any of these options. Also, there are graphs where Amazon is literally sold, guys, like 20 units over a whole year on a listing. If you put Amazon was on that listing, it might not show up that graph at all. You literally lost a totally viable item to source. So that is my number one tip automatically on Keepa. Do not get discouraged by the orange line in the blocks, but understand the orange line in the blocks. Okay, guys? Step 2 is, sometimes when you're looking at Keepa graphs, some people just like looking at the very top part, the amount of money and the sales rank. But if you go to more historical data on the right side of the Keepa graph on the bottom, and you click it, it will pop up another graph like this one. That's how many sellers are selling currently on this listing. And as you see, if it goes up, usually the price will go down. That's just how supply and demand works. So usually when you get too many sellers, the price will go down, and then you can find a hot spot where the price the sellers went down and the price went back up. All of this data is on there. I don't know if people want to analyze that, but how many sellers in the price might determine how fast it might sell, obviously with the BSR, but this is how you determine if you're going to make, how much profit you'll make and how fast you can make it, because you might list it right away and you might be making $10 profit, but as you look at the seller's historical data, if you don't get rid of it fast enough, more sellers will come on, and then you're only making $8 or $7, and that's all this information is there. So that's tip number 2, and I think it's very clutch to look at that. Now, if you also look down by less historical data, right to the left, there's a button called statistics. And when you click on it, it's going to give you the lowest, the current, the highest, and the average price for new, used for this product. And it also should have Amazon on it. If it doesn't have Amazon on it, that means Amazon has never sold on it. And that's that. Now, underneath it, it'll give you the price for new and used. And on to the right, it's going to give you the lowest sales rank it's ever had. Once again, the current, the highest, and the average. And that's usually based off the 90-day, the 60-day, the high it's ever been, the lowest it's ever been for this product. And then right under there, it's going to tell you how many units are sold. And that's what you want to base it off of. Then you can take your ASIN, which is on the top, and then put it in Camel, 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 or Jungle Scout's free estimator, and put that BSR in there, and then get their estimate of sales, and then average the 3 together, and that's probably what the listing sells. And that's really good information to know. So those are my 3 major tips on Keepa. Please don't overlook them. They're going to help, especially when you're in your view data part, when you're ready to source. So, and just remember, when you do your searches, you might only find 5 products and only one of them is viable, especially after doing all the things I told you, so you can definitely lock in a good product. One's good to start. At least you found one. Try to source as many as you can and get the ball rolling. My advice is to always try to have like 3 to 5 products of 5 to 10 each. So if one starts to die down a little bit, the other one's selling. But if you can't always have, if you have at least one product that you can get good inventory on, and you know it's going to source, and you know you could source it, and you know you can sell it on Amazon, that's a great start. So I hope this stuff helped. I hope the tips on Keepa keep you thinking and looking at products a little different, and also how you use TA. And I hope the filters and the view data area was broken down as best as I could. I know it's generic, but I know you guys want to see it. And remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay awesome, guys. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I really do. I can see that my numbers and my views are growing, and you guys really want to see TA, and you're really interested in OA, and I think it's a great opportunity. That's why I'm dropping these videos for you. If I'm missing any resources, let me know, or if you want me to make a video on something, TaxJar, or any other software maybe you guys are interested in, just let me know. All right, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks.